Hi, Michael. Could you state your name and your full name and your current profession?
I am Michael Greenwood, and I am a professor of management and strategy at Fitchburg State University, where I'm also the chair of the business department.
Wonderful. And could you tell me, how do you know Cathy Secularis?
Oh, let me tell you, I met Cathy 26 years ago, and what I learned about Cathy, just say that.
No, look at me.
Oh, I'm on camera.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're looking down
I'm
at
sorry.
the microphone.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I lost
start
my
over.
focus.
How do you know Cathy?
Cathy hired me in 1989 to work as part of her management team when she was in charge of the Northeast Division for AHI Nielsen Marketing Research, a division of Dun & Bradstreet.
And how long have you known her?
I've known Cathy for 26 years.
And how would you describe?
You have to answer, you have to say, I have known Cathy for,
Say the whole
you have
answer.
to say her question.
Because they won't know that I'm
Because
asking.
she's
'cause I'm
never
not
gonna be
I'm
on
not gonna be
the
in
movie.
video.
Got it. Thank you, John.
Keep on.
Okay.
That's good directing.
Let's go
Thank
back.
you.
How do you know Cathy?
I know Cathy from the time in 1989 when she hired me to be part of her executive team when she ran the Northeast region of AHI Nielsen Marketing Research, a division then of Dun & Bradstreet.
And what was her title then? Was she managing director?
I like that question. I'll tell you why, Cathy. Because you never wore your title on your sleeve. You want me to say that?
Sure.
And also, put your hands up, because now you're doing this.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah,
that.
you need
Yeah.
to go, okay,
I-
you need to
I
come a
just-
little higher.
I
Okay.
understand that. Thank you
All
for reminding me. Thank you.
Okay.
Take it again.
So how do you know Cathy?
I know Cathy from 1989 when she hired me to work as part of her management team when she led the Northeast region for Nielsen Marketing Research, a division of Dun & Bradstreet.
And what was her title then?
She was the director of the entire region.
And could you describe Cathy's business background from when she
What a
graduated
marvelous
college?
background Cathy has had.
Wait a minute, you can't step on her.
You've got to wait until I finish.
She has to stop completely, and remember,
Thank
state
you,
the
John.
question.
Thank you,
Okay.
John. Good coaching.
Could you describe Cathy's business background?
I want to describe Cathy's business background for you. What a meteoric career she's had. It was just, well, let me tell you. So out of college, she works for Procter & Gamble. First job was in sales management, but she got promoted immediately into brand management, which had a significant impact. After that, she went to work for ITT. Most people remember ITT. What they don't know is that at the time they had a startup division in analytics. They hired Cathy to lead that up. Her exceptional ability to spot talent is amazing, and I'm sure she used it during that startup. But it's not done. Because, what did you go after ITT?
Okay, pause, I want to check everything.
I am open tomorrow.
Okay, guys.
Hi, Michael. Could you
Hi.
state your name and your profession?
Hi, I'm Michael Greenwood. I'm the chair of the business department at Fitchburg State University.
And prior to becoming the chair and a professor, what was your business background?
Okay. Prior to becoming a chair and professor, my business background included a stint with IBM as an international marketing executive. And prior to that, I was with a startup that we sold to Yahoo. And then prior to that, I was working for AHI Nielsen. And I met my friend Cathy.
So tell me, how do you know Cathy? And what was it like working with her?
I first met Cathy in 1998. And at that time, it wasn't 1998, it was 1989.
Just pick it up. Okay, pick it up.
1, 2, 3. I first met Cathy in 1989 when she hired me to work on her as part of her executive team when she was managing the Northeast region for the AHI Nielsen company, which was the division of Dun & Bradstreet.
Do it again.
How do you know Cathy, Michael?
I first met Cathy in 1989 when she interviewed me and hired me to work with her as part of her management team in the Northeast region of AHI Nielsen, the research company owned by Dun & Bradstreet at the time.
How would you describe Cathy's business background? starting with Procter & Gamble, where she started as a sales rep, moved to sales management, and then quickly was promoted into brand management.
Okay. I learned about Cathy's background. I was wondering how she was able to be so good at everything she was doing. And so she was right out of college, she was hired into Procter & Gamble, where initially they gave her, as a 25-year-old, the initial training that you don't want me to go there.
I started at
Hey, you got me off track. You told me that earlier.
Okay,
Oh,
have a drink of water.
Yeah.
okay. I probably said too much because I was trying to lead you through the background so you wouldn't forget it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I met Cathy in 1989 when she hired me to work for the Northeast region of the AC Nielsen Research Company. She managed the region at
Okay,
that.
stop.
I don't-
You can't move your hands up and down your body and all that.
Thank
Either
you.
keep them still or bring them into frame. But don't move because that microphone's picking it up. And action.
I met Cathy in 1989 when she hired me to work as part of her management team when she was responsible for the Northeast division of AC Nielsen Research, then owned by Dun & Bradstreet.
and how would you describe Cathy's business background when she, from the time she graduated college at 21 years old?
Let me tell you about Cathy's business background. From the time she graduated college, she was 21 years old. She goes to work for a company called Procter & Gamble. I think everybody knows Procter & Gamble, all right. But let me tell you, when she was there, she entered in the sales division, and then she was promoted into the brand management division. Now, that was unheard of for somebody who didn't have an MBA at the time, let alone a woman who's trying to break through the glass ceiling. But breakthrough she did, and she was extremely effective at Procter & Gamble. As a matter of fact, after Procter & Gamble, another company came calling, ITT. Now, you might remember at the time, ITT was trying to shift their attention to the PC business. She was given global responsibility for sales and distribution for this business. Quite a responsibility that she executed so well. Let me tell you what else happened after that. Dun & Bradstreet came calling, and she was hired to run the Northeast region for AC Nielsen Research. And of course, that's where I met her. Boy, she introduced into that, at that point, a very stable, kind of an old-fashioned way to deal with business and clients. And she really revolutionized, from the Northeast region, impacted the entire global AC Nielsen company. And I know that firsthand because I was there to see it happen.
Okay, some of that information's in.
Whatever, but that was awesome. And that's what he should do, is run with it.
Okay.
No
And
one-
we'll
no one's
just-
gonna-
We'll edit
No
the
one,
shit.
no one's
Well,
gonna,
anyway,
any little peccadillos in there, no one's
Yeah.
gonna
But-
know.
You made it sound like my career ended at Procter & Gamble, but I was sought after and recruited out. Like I didn't, you said when things ended at Procter & Gamble, so,
Audio goes first because I can always fill it with B-roll.
okay, let me ask you a question, okay?
So,
Michael, how do you know Cathy?
I met Cathy in 1989 when she interviewed me to join her management team in the Northeast region of AC Nielsen Marketing Research, then a division of Dun & Bradstreet. She was the region manager for all of Nielsen. This is not where I'm going.
pick it up again.
She was the managing director.
Man, that's just looking for that.
But you don't have to go into that because that's not the question I asked you. It's
Okay.
like, how do you know Cathy? Okay,
Oh, I'll just stop it.
Yeah.
Well, we get that
Yeah,
role
let's
already.
just go- Yeah, let's just do
Yeah.
it.
so I'm gonna ask you the next question, but I just want you to think about it first. Describe her business background, and I want you to say she worked for three of the most prestigious
She
or
worked for
premier
three of the
companies.
most
Wait, let me
presti-
finish
No, I'm saying it
before
with
you
you.
translate,
Yeah.
before you transmit.
Yeah.
She worked for three most prestigious companies in America, starting with Procter & Gamble, where she entered in sales and sales management, went to brand management. Okay, from there,
Sales and sales management went to brand
she,
management.
and you can say whatever you want, meteoric rise, quick, fast track. But somewhere in here, you have to say I had a 30-year career, because it sounds like I just hopped around from company to company.
Maybe I should say, I learned that over her 30
Yeah.
years
So
in
maybe
business.
when I say describe her business background, you say Cathy worked for 30 years in the corporate world, which many of you may not know,
Okay,
okay?
let's do it.
And then you can pause for a minute, and then you can start the next segment with when she graduated college.
Hold on. You can give them bite-sized pieces,
Okay.
because you just gave them a
Yeah,
whole chunk.
okay.
All right, let's start with this one, and action.
Could you describe Cathy's 30-year business background?
You know, when I think of it, yeah, Kathy's been in business for 30 years. And listen to the companies that she had the opportunity to work for. Out of college, she went to work for Procter & Gamble, then ITT, and then Dun & Bradstreet. Now, many people consider these some of the top 3 firms to work for in the world. When she went to Procter & Gamble, out of college, I might tell you, she joined their sales division. And after that, she moved into product management. You know,
Okay, I'm sorry.
we got that.
Yeah, we got that. That front end was beautiful.
Yep.
Worked
Okay,
nicely.
yeah.
Now pick it up with the details.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Okay. So you want me to go back to the jobs or
Yeah, the details
Okay.
about how, when you got in, the manager, and then
Okay.
she became, went
from
higher.
Procter
At
& Gamble or the
P&G?
next company?
No,
So-
the first one, Procter & Gamble.
From
Yeah.
Procter & Gamble, I started in sales, then quickly got promoted to sales manager. Most coveted job coming out of college.
First of all, P&G is most coveted.
The P&G
Yeah.
coming out of college
Solid
as a
achievement.
21-year-old. So
Yeah.
it's the job everybody wants. And so I went there for their management training program and quickly moved from sales to sales management. Did some creative things in the field and was the only non-MBA person to get promoted into brand management, where she was on the Ivory brand, if you want to say it, or soft soap or whatever. We launched soft soaps.
Okay, that's enough, Why don't you
Okay,
go
so
through
could
that?
you describe her time at Procter & Gamble, starting with sales, sales management, and brand management?
Kathy's time at Procter & Gamble was, well, in a word, amazing. They spotted her talent when she joined the sales division and then was promoted into management roles within sales. Now, that's okay, but what happened after that was truly amazing. She was then promoted into brand management. This is the first time first time that I've heard of, that a non-MBA person or a woman was promoted into such a valuable role. She distinguished herself there and then moved to ITT.
Was recruited to ITT. Say it
Okay,
again.
good, let's start from there.
Say it
Now,
again.
do the ITT thing.
Okay.
So ITT was looking for people with the type of training that Procter & Gamble offered its management team, and I was recruited
Okay, I
out
got this.
to start a newly formed division
I got it.
and
Two.
head up all of sales and decision support for
got
North
it.
America.
got
Startup.
Now you're confusing me now. When I say I got it, you should stop.
Okay, here we go. And
2,
action.
3, 4.
Could you describe Cathy's career could you describe Cathy's transition from Procter & Gamble to ITT and her job, her responsibilities at ITT?
You know, there are some companies that people say are a good place to be from because when people hire from that firm, they see excellence right away. And that was the case with Cathy when she was at Procter & Gamble and was recruited by IT&T, who wanted those talents that we all recognize that Cathy has. But when she went to IT&T, listen to this, they needed somebody. You remember when the PC business and all the information technology was starting to percolate? She was called in to be in charge of global sales and distribution for this new division at ITT. And she flourished, and she flourished. Along came Dun & Bradstreet and recruited her to come and join them in their AC Nielsen Market Research division, where desperately needed her skills at managing and developing under a fast-changing environment.
Okay.
Cut. I want to just shut this because
89,
Okay, so I
March of 89.
came 78, 84. I think I joined in 84, 85.
Okay,
So I had 9-10 years there.
yeah.
So I think you should say for Dun & Bradstreet, Cathy held, Cathy started her career as a managing director of the Northeast, responsible for all the consumer products companies within that area.
Okay,
Maybe
let's
you don't
do it.
want to do that, it's too much detail.
Here we go.
Okay, Cathy started as a managing director in a turnaround situation where the business was, because of technology, was heading in a new direction.
I got it.
Got promoted to run decision support, software, and what was the name of that division?
We can pick up that
Okay.
second part, that third part
Okay.
there. Let me just go into it.
And her last job there was being responsible for the top 20 clients in the world, headquartered in London. She ran the global accounts business, something like that. Okay, could you describe Cathy's job at Dun & Bradstreet, Nielsen Marketing Research?
At Dun & Bradstreet, no. Okay. I'm having trouble starting this one.
It's okay, take your time.
We're not in a rush.
Where am I, Cathy, on your story?
You're gonna say, when Cathy joined Dun & Bradstreet, she started as managing director for the
Okay.
Northeast
2, 3,
region.
4. When Cathy joined Dun & Bradstreet, she joined as managing director of the Northeast region. It was really kind of a turnaround situation for Cathy, but that's nothing new for her. So she waded right into it and of course was very, very successful. It wasn't long before the executives came to her and said, hey, decision support and its relationship to IT and technology is becoming very, very important. So they tapped Cathy to run this new division. It was a very important division, as you all know today, but she knew it back then. She had a keen eye, I think, for spotting opportunity. Well, it wasn't too long after that that she found herself in London, working still for Dun & Bradstreet, managing global, what, Cathy?
So, Michael, can you describe Cathy's last job, which was Vice President of Global Accounts, responsible for Dun & Bradstreet's top 20 clients, or Nielsen Marketing
Oh, I got
Research top 20
got it.
clients, with over $1 billion in responsibility.
Let them do it. 3, 2, 1.
You know, Cathy's last assignment at Dun & Bradstreet was just as exciting as the rest of her career, because they tapped her to run, out of London no less, I think it was about $1 billion worth of business for Dun & Bradstreet, which, by the way, included the top 20 brands that everybody recognizes around the world.
Top 20 consumer products companies, not brands. Can you repeat
But, you
that?
know, okay.
Which included, start with which included.
You know, I don't think those people are going to care.
No, but you can't say brands.
So-
I'm not worried about it.
You're not that?
No, but 20
Okay.
brands doesn't make any sense. I mean,
What did I say, what?
20, you said she was responsible for the top 20 brands. You meant top 20 clients.
Okay, top 20 clients.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Let's
start with
start
the
it.
global accounts.
Let's do it.
Her last role.
Okay, here you go.
Dun & Bradstreet?
Yeah,
And
Dun &
you're
Bradstreet.
going from Nielsen. Okay.
Her last job at Dun & Bradstreet.
You know, her last job.
Vice President.
Whoa. Everyone,
Okay.
take it easy.
You know, her last job at Dun & Bradstreet, yeah, it was based in London, and it was responsible for 20 of the top consumer brands in the world. That's not it?
I wasn't responsible for top 20 consumer brands. I was responsible for the top 20 clients. Philip Morris, Lever Brothers, Procter & Gamble.
What's the difference between
Coca-Cola.
brands and clients?
They weren't 20 brands. They represent thousands of brands.
Okay, okay.
It's
okay.
like saying,
Clients.
We
you
can do
know,
it again. I can do it
it's
again.
it's
I
the
can-
wrong job. It's
Okay.
not
We-
like there's a
we-
huge difference.
we-
I know, we heard brands earlier, so I think it's stuck in his
No.
head, so let's
We
go
can do
with
it
the
again.
client. Let's
We
go
can
with the
do it again.
clients.
Two.
Can I describe the job for you first?
Wait a minute, I'm running video, so
Okay.
you want me to, let him try it one more time with the clients.
Let me try.
Okay, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay. And then her last job at Dun & Bradstreet was an assignment based in London for global responsibility for 10 of their top clients around the world. And
20.
20, and how many billions?
I said
1
10.
billion, over $1 billion.
I said 10, I should have said 20.
Yeah. It's 20.
I swear to God, I've been thinking 10 the whole time. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We'll try it again.
And you know, her last assignment at Dun & Bradstreet, and I think this one was based in London, where she was tapped to run and lead global responsibilities for their top 20 clients.
And what type of revenue responsibility did Cathy have at that point in time in her
I
last
think
job?
that was about $1 billion worth of responsibility.
Pick it up again, I think, pick it up.
Say it again.
I think that was about $20 billion worth of responsibility that she managed for Dun & Bradstreet in her last assignment.
Did you say 20 billion?
I said 20
It's
billion.
1 billion.
I said,
You said again.
It's okay, we'll pick it up, it's all right.
I like being more important.
pull a string like those little toys, right?
Michael, you're doing great.
Thank you.
and you're,
You are doing
you're
great.
animated.
Yeah,
which is great.
I
And you
wanted
look
to go
great
for
on camera.
natural,
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
not the,
Yeah,
let's
and you can bring those hands
do
up
it
a
one
little
more
bit.
time.
so you know,
And so it's 20 clients and $1 billion. The 20 top clients, they had $1 billion in revenue a year. Okay?
That's awesome,
Describe
Cathy.
Cathy's last job as Vice President of Global Accounts located in London.
Action.
you know, her last assignment at Dun & Bradstreet was as global vice president responsible for 20 of their top clients around the world.
And what type of revenue responsibility did she have?
I think the revenue was around $1 billion. That's a nice neighborhood to be in.
Okay, perfect. How would you describe Cathy's leadership skills? Now, Cathy has always described leadership as the ability to articulate a vision and motivate people, put them in the right spot,
got it.
and lead them through fire and working right by them,
I got it.
articulate the vision, and then execute. Okay, how would you describe Cathy's leadership skills in business?
You know, if I wanted to describe Cathy's leadership skills in business, I would think about her as a transformational leadership type. You know, she can spot talent, she can develop that talent, and then she can set a vision that is actually attainable, even though it's a little bit outside what most people would see as attainable. She's a real possibility thinker. As a transformational leader, she's impacted so many lives. And I'm going to tell you, based on my experience and study of leadership, I would place Cathy in the top 1% of leaders because she has the ability to get people to believe in something that just a second ago they thought were unbelievable. So that's why I call her a possibility thinker and a transformational leader. Anyone who's been, over the last 30 years of her career, she's had such an opportunity to touch lives. Like a pebble in a pond, the continuing impact of Cathy upon the lives of the people that she's had the chance to work with continues, and I am an example of that.
So I know you said
Bravo, that's excellent,
yeah.
man.
I know you
Thanks.
said that you mentioned Cathy, you honored her by mentioning her in your dissertation.
I
Can
did.
you expand on that and explain what you did?
Oh, yeah. You know, if I want to get personal for a second and tell you how Cathy has impacted my life, I mean, we've been friends for 26 years. She's kind of sticky, isn't she? I mean, once you get to know Cathy, you want to be around her, and because she's an encourager. And whether you admit it or not, we all like to be around people who encourage us, you know? And so when I think about all the times in my life where I've had a moment to pause and think about, what would Cathy do? I can tell you, in my career, she has influenced me that way, so much so that I mentioned her in my dissertation. I thanked her. But I thank Cathy a lot every day, really. She's had such a marvelous impact on my life. And most of the time when I'm making decisions in business, strategic decisions, some of them have a lot of weight attached, I often think, what would Cathy do?
Thank you.
Wonderful,
That was good.
beautiful, bravo,
Okay,
beautiful.
so, that's just right
I
there.
wanna make sure that this is good. I'm just gonna shut.
But everybody knows that she's had a successful 30-year business career. We have to make people know that.
Right,
That's what we're doing right now.
yeah.
And your impact.
Okay,
Um,
just sit up just a little bit. Michael, you can just sit up just a
Oh,
little.
yes, thank you.
Just a little bit like that.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, good.
Cathy is also known for being very creative and for coming up with ideas that people think are impossible. And she has the ability to motivate people to follow her. Do you want to expand on that or talk about that a little bit? Because influencing and persuasion is part of leadership and getting people to believe they can do things that they thought were impossible.
You know, when I think about Cathy and her business leadership, I think about the story of Sir Ernest Shackleton when he wrote, "The type of leader you have to be is the leader that other fellows want to follow." Well, Cathy is a Shackleton leader. When faced with tough odds, she remains cheerful and focused, and I've seen this on the job. But one of the things that I would say really defines Cathy as a business leader is her ability to understand that she needs to hire people that sometimes know a little bit more than she does, and she loves that. Second, she likes to hire people that will grab on to her tail and her train when she takes off. You want to be a part of that. And what she does is she sets examples with her team that, yeah, we have a tough project, but let's focus on how much enjoyment and professional satisfaction we're going to get from the project. And you know what happens? People come along. You don't see that often in business. And I could say this to Cathy right now. Cathy, I know you left business after 30 years, but we miss you. We miss your positive impact. We miss your ability to be a change agent. And I don't mean the Jack Welch off with their head type of change agent ethos. Cathy's the kind of leader that makes you want to take risks. You know why? Because she's always there to back you up. She'll catch you if you fall. And if you stumble a little bit and she can't catch you, she'll push you. So at least we'll get yardage out of it.
Thank you.
Nice.
I think
That's
we're
very
good.
nice.
Do you think we need any more?
No, I think it's great. It was good. If you want to pick up the,
I know there's a couple of, yeah.
okay, hold on. We're rolling. Ask the question, and there we go. Don't
Michael.
step on it.
How would you describe Cathy's, like broadly speaking, her business career? Was she successful or not successful? And it seems to me that during her 25 years of working or 30 years of working that she accomplished a lot.
You know, when I think of Cathy, I think, of course, her as a friend that I've had for 26 years. But for 30 years, many of you may not know this about her, but for 30 years, she made such an impact on business. You know, and I'm not just talking P&Ls, bottom lines, because she achieved all that, okay? You give her a stretch goal, she made it. But the goal that she achieved, more than anything else, while she was in business, is impacting lives like mine and all the colleagues that I stay in touch with who have also worked with Cathy. Because as a group, we all agree that while that was going on, it was Camelot, and we miss it.
Okay, thank you. I think we're done.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Do you want
beautiful.
more?
No, I'm going to check things just to
Okay.
make sure that